Hello, this is Billy Core from the Carolina Circle Mall Wiki. Yes, I'm still sick. Thought I'd be better today, but wound up not being better. But I digress. What you were looking at is a standard issue Dell Inspiron laptop from the early 2000s. Now, most people wouldn't find much interest in this, but I do, and for pretty good reason. You see, in November of 2002, my dad was watching QVC and happened to see this particular laptop for sale. It was a Dell Inspiron 2650, and he bought it. And not only did it wind up being our first Dell computer, it also wound up being our first computer to run Windows XP. I had always wanted to have a computer running Windows XP at the time, but it just never came to be. Unfortunately, because at the time in 2002 we were still running on Windows 98 and Windows ME. And my dad used this laptop as a desktop replacement. I remember out there in his building, he had it set up on the desk, and he had connected to it a mouse, a printer, a scanner, and a Sound Blaster Exige 5:1 surround sound sound card, a USB one that is, that had 5:1 surround sound speakers hooked up to it. So yeah, he rarely ever used this as a laptop. He always used it as a desktop, of all things. And I loved it as well. I was, at the time, I didn't have my own laptop. I remember in 2003 when I bought my Dell Dimension 2350. I almost bought a laptop similar to this, but my dad talked me out of it, telling me that I'd probably get better use out of a desktop, which he wound up being right about that. But when I got the Dell Dimension 2350, I did want a laptop of my very own, and I saved up for a year and eventually bought a Dell Inspiron 1150. This is not the original one, by the way. Neither is this. But until I got this Inspiron 1150, I had to share this laptop with my dad. And at night when he wasn't using this, I would, with his permission of course, I would take this in here and use it in bed. When I would get too tired to sit at my desk and use the Dimension 2350. I remember I had my own user account on here and everything. Now, my dad used this laptop for many years. He used it as his main computer up until 2007, when I gave him a Dell Dimension E520 running Windows Vista, and he downgraded this to a secondary machine. And then in early part of 2009, he bought a Acer Aspire 1 netbook, which completely replaced this, and he wound up giving it to a good friend of ours, and it hasn't been seen since. Well, this past September, I happened to find a Dell Inspiron 2650 completely identical to my dad's former one for sale on eBay. It was about $50, and I went on ahead and bought it. And this is it right here. Took me way too long to get around to making this video. Yes, this is a nostalgic Christmas video. I really don't have much nostalgia for this, but I figure, you know, this particular era, a lot of you folks are nostalgic for the 2000s, so I figured you folks may enjoy this. So let's take a tour of this laptop. Here's the front. We got two stereo speakers. This is the hard drive caddy. There's currently a 80 gigabyte hard drive in there, not the original one. My dad's original 2650 had a 30 gigabyte hard drive in it. And on the right, we have a Kensington lock slot. DVD. This is a DVD-ROM / CD-RW drive. The faceplate is missing because, well, I may or may not have tripped over it a couple of months ago and broke the faceplate off. So yeah, it still works, but it's kind of harder to use now. I'll have to get a new one. But my dad's original also had a DVD-ROM / CD-RW drive. And on the back, this is back in the day when laptop ports were still on the back. We get a 56K modem, 2 USB 1.1 ports. This was just barely before USB 2, so it just missed out on it. My dad actually had a Belkin USB 2.0 PCMCIA card that he kept in his to get USB 2. Yep, PS2 mouse and keyboard port, VGA out, exhaust fan, and a parallel printer port. No serial port, but oh well. Get a power connector. This uses the same type of Dell power brick that the Dell Latitude C series laptops use. Get another fan and heat sink there. And on the left side you get headphone and microphone connections, an Ethernet connection, which my dad used on his quite a bit. PCMCIA slot. I currently have a TP-Link Wi-Fi adapter card, which works really well in here because this laptop, believe it or not, does not have built-in Wi-Fi. Yes, this is just before the time laptops came with built-in Wi-Fi. My dad's came with a Dell branded wireless card that you could slide in here, which we did use eventually when we finally upgraded to wireless internet here back in 2004. I no longer have that card. And you get a good old-fashioned 3.5-inch floppy drive. And let's open the lid, and you get a 15-inch screen with a nice little keyboard here, touchpad. It has a, I believe either a 1.6 or a 1.8 gigahertz Intel Pentium 4M. And this originally had 128 megabytes of memory, which, even back in the day, I do not recommend running Windows XP on 128 megabytes of memory. My, what was I going to say? My dad's original came with 128 megs as well, which he wound up upgrading to 384 megabytes, which helped it a little bit. Still a very fast laptop because he kept good care of it, unlike me back in the day. I maxed this laptop out to 512 megabytes of RAM. You would think that this laptop would be new enough to handle 1 gigabyte of RAM, but I tried 1 gigabyte and it would not post, so this computer will only see as high as 512 megabytes of RAM, unfortunately. What can you do? So let's, I'm not sure how the battery is, so let's hook the power back up to it. Go. And let's fire it up. Been a while since I've turned this on. Let's go into the BIOS first. Do I do it in time? No, I didn't. Alright, let's boot into Windows XP. Got it running the unofficial Service Pack 4. Just because I can. And my dad absolutely loved his back in the day. It was his pride and joy. And for good reason, too. It was a very nice laptop back then. Very reliable and very fast. Not so much these days, but... And here we are. Booted into Windows XP Home Edition. Oh yeah, remember this from back in the day in Windows XP? There were unused icons on your desktop. Oh, you know what? Your mom has unused icons. Okay, we're charging. Got 90% on the battery. Battery still holds a charge, believe it or not. I really don't plan on using this laptop a whole lot. Just more of a time capsule, I guess you could say. Got wireless connection, so we are connected to our network. I would not recommend taking this onto any website. It is not a pleasant experience. Main reason I have this here connected is so I can access files on the network, on my personal network, that is. And it's, believe it or not, pretty speedy for most of the time. I've got Microsoft Work Suite 2002 on here. I use the original CDs that came with my dad's original. We wound up keeping them. In fact, let's mosey on over here. And here it is. This is what came with my dad's original Inspiron 2650. We wound up keeping it. So yeah. Alright, move back over here. Rope's getting dried out. Tired of being sick. I want to do stuff. Excuse me. Alright, let's go through here. Got standard Windows XP accessories. The sound you're hearing is the Windows XP Plus sounds from the Space theme. Got a little program called Display Fusion, which gives me a few more options that Windows XP lacks when it comes to wallpaper. Foxit Reader for reading PDF files. Games. Image Burn. Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe, which we may have a quick game of in a minute. Actually, no, because I don't have the CD-ROM. Sorry, folks. Encarta 2002. Microsoft Office 2002, or as it's more commonly known as, Microsoft Office XP. Silverlight. Microsoft Works. Power ISO. TeamViewer. VLC Media Player, WinRAR, all the Microsoft Office goodness, Streets and Trips, Mozilla Firefox, MSN Explorer, which we did use back in the day. Completely useless now, though. All right. Oh crap! I think I just clicked an internet link, folks. So this laptop's gonna go down to a crawl. Go away, Internet Explorer. Yeah, Display Fusions want me to update, but don't feel like doing that right now. Let's go into Device Manager. Okay, Microsoft Windows XP Home Edition, version 2014. That's a product of the Unofficial Service Pack 4. Okay, it's actually a 1.7 gigahertz Intel Pentium 4M. I stand corrected on that. Let's head into Device Manager. Okay, we got an NVIDIA GeForce 2 Go for a video card. Very interesting choice of video, I must say. Matsucha, optical drive, floppy disk drive, keyboard, Connexent dial-up modem. Don't think we ever used it on our original. Certainly don't plan to use it on this one either. 3-COM integrated fast Ethernet controller. The TP-Link wireless card right there. Card bus controller. Pentium 4M. Let's see. Intel AC97. Brought to you by Sigmatel Audio. And all the good old-fashioned chipset mumbo-jumbo that we are to expect here. Again, no USB 2.0 on here. Just barely missed out on it. Okay, let's take a look at Microsoft Work Suite. So Microsoft Works here. Go to the Task Launcher. Apparently, I've never used it on here. Oh, great, it's the portfolio again. Jay Wakefield always teases me about hating this thing. This thing always got in the way back in the day when I would use Work Suite on any Dell computer. It just, I found it useless, and it just did nothing but get in the way. So no, I'm not going to let you start every time Windows starts. And you can just go away. No, I already told you I don't want that crap. Begging's not going to get you anywhere. Anyway, here's Microsoft Works. I'm not sure what version. Works 6.0. Wow, from 2000. That's pretty far back. Go to the task here. Programs, got Microsoft Word, Works Spreadsheet, Works Database, Address Book, Picture It Photo 2002. Let's see if we can start that up. Used to use this quite a bit on my dad's original Inspiron 2650. Okay, I guess we can open a picture. Do I even have any pictures on here, I wonder? Oh, I got Carolina Circle Mall pictures. Get one of those. Let's see. Let's go with this one right here. Amazes me how fast this computer actually is for being a Pentium 4 with only 512 megabytes of RAM. But for one thing, I'm not taking it on the internet, so that's probably helping a lot. We can touch up. Let's see what happens when you restore the old picture. Do an automatic fix. That really did nothing. We can make an illusion. Boiling bubbles. Whoa. Bumps and craters. Oh, got a lot of illusions you can choose from on here. Film grain. Wow, that it's kind of stupid. Alright, enough of that. No, I don't want to save the changes. And we can, of course, start up Microsoft Word. Version 2002. I tell you, I got a lot of mileage out of Microsoft Word 2002 back in the day. I used to type everything with it, everything. I've always liked Arial 14 for some reason. See if I can type with one hand. Not a fan of the 2000s, like I say, but a lot of people are nostalgic for it, and I respect that. I don't need to save that. Alright, enough of that. I do have one game we can play, courtesy of Microsoft Plus for XP. Game I used to play quite a bit on our original 2650. Where is it? Oh yeah, Hyperbowl Plus Edition. Alright, just control it with the mouse. I've never owned the full version of this game. Bowl. Whatever you say so. It's not very efficient to play on a touchpad, but it works. Let's see if we can get a spare. Well, I got that at least. Not quite. Oh, there we go. Thought it crashed for a second. But yeah, what amazes me about this laptop is this was our very first experience with Windows XP, an operating system that pretty much define my computer life throughout the 2000s. I did so much with Windows XP back in the day on multiple systems. And it all started right here on this laptop. Okay. I want to strike. And it's too much to ask, I suppose. I can only get one side. You know what? Let's go ahead and start wrapping this video up. I don't want the battery to die on my camera. That would be rather disappointing. There is one thing I wish I could do with this laptop, but But I've tried it before, twice actually, but it just doesn't want to work. Windows 98. Of course, I want to keep XP on here, definitely, seeing that this is what introduced me to XP in the first place. But I installed whenever I install Windows 98 on here, I get IRQ conflicts with certain devices, particularly the optical drive controller, that kind of stuff. And even when you change resources, it just makes things even more hectic, and it just does not work at all. Yes, I was even crazy enough to try Windows ME as well. Same problem with the IRQ problems. So anything Windows 9X based, this laptop will just not be able to run, unfortunately. This is only going to have to be able to run Windows XP, or maybe even Windows 2000 someday if I get crazy. So, I guess that's pretty much all there is to show about this laptop. If there's anything else you want to see about it someday in a future video, please let me know and I'll see what I can do about it. No, I don't want to install any updates this time. And this is Billy Course signing off.